Dear students, good morning. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 19th October 2020. I am happy to announce you that today we have started Gayatri Campus program in Hyderabad. This is a completely residential program. The philosophy behind this is Guru, Gurukulam and Sadhana. So there have to be a teacher to handhold, there has to be a right environment which we called as Gurukulam, and there has to be regular practice which we call as Sadhana. Guru, Sadhana, Gurukulam. This is the guiding theme for the Gayatri campus. Now let us come back to the articles for today. First article is Probing Judicial Propriety and Corruption. You know, Chief Minister of AP Jagan Reddy made certain serious allegations against senior judge of the Supreme Court, senior most judge of the Supreme Court after CJI, and judges of the High Court. It needs a serious attention. Here let us explore what is the procedure that is being set to deal with these matters by CJI. In the case of Ramachandran Iyer versus Justice A.M. Bhattacharjee, what Supreme Court held is this. Any complaint received by CJI against Supreme Court judges or High Court judges have to be kept confidential. It is to maintain the integrity of the institution. Second, a 3 judges inquiry committee have to be constituted and an in-house inquiry has to be conducted. Be careful over here. If we give opportunity to accused judges, everyone or every accused will make counter accusations against the judges. It will make the people to lose confidence against the judiciary as a whole. That is the reason why Supreme Court wanted these matters to be kept confidential and an in-house inquiry has to be conducted. You know, sexual violence allegations have come against Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi. It is alleged that Supreme Court did not work in fair manner in this particular complaint. The complainant was reinstated later and the matter was closed under the carpet. In this context, what the author suggests over here is to have a fair inquiry on the senior most judge of the Supreme Court. It is better to constitute reputed judges who are retired rather than who are functioning now. So, constitute an in-house committee, inquiry committee with retired reputed judges. That is the take-home point over here. The next article is the Who's in the Green Tribunal's Resilient Journey. It is 10 years of National Green Tribunal. In this context, a critical evaluation of its functioning is done. National Green Tribunal's functionality is too wide. Why is it too wide? It deals with environment, forests, wildlife, climate change, everything. So that's why NGT has got wider scope in its action. Obviously, along with the wider scope comes the diversity of cases before it. Now let us know another point about its evolution. Normally, establishment of tribunals is seen as a violation of principle of rule of law. So, principles of natural justice may be upheld, but rule of law principles are being violated. So, tribunalization of justice was discouraged. But Justice Bhagwati himself has promoted for creation of separate environmental courts with judges and also technical experts because it involves processing of lot of scientific and technical data. Third important thing is NGT has worked on the principle polluter shall pay, and even the people known for in society are made to pay for the pollution they have caused. Ravi Shankar Prasad, he was asked to pay for damaging the Yamuna riverbed. So in this context, the NGT focus is more going on governance, environmental governance. What author suggests is to make itself more relevant, it has to focus on adjudication. Adjudication. So these are the points covered over here. Next is the Raj Bhavan's new role taking center stage. Let me give you one example. When Ram Lal, he was the governor of Andhra Pradesh and Mr. Jagmohan was the governor of Jammu and Kashmir. Indira Gandhi used the Raj Bhavan to topple the governments there. And second is, governor's office is more seen as an agent of center. How constitution visualized this office? You can understand this from the statement of Nani Palkiwala. According to him, governor is an instrument to maintain equilibrium. Equilibrium between what? Between the people mandate and the constitution. So, if there is any friction between the constitutional governance and the people's mandate, to maintain that balance, we need governor's office. But today, governor's office is being misused to appoint the CMs, to prove his majority on the floor of the house, to remove the CM from the office, to impose president's rule. At every level, governor's office is being misused. Today, Maharashtra governor and West Bengal governor are notoriously in news for causing trouble to their respective governments. Added to this, Maharashtra government has ridiculed the word secularism when he described or when he asked Mr. Thackeray, when have you gone to be secular? It means the secularism, which is constitutional foundational principle or part of the basic structure philosophy, is very much ridiculed by the governor who holds a constitutional office. In this context, the office of governor is getting politicized like never before. And as our federalism is changing its contours, the governor's office is getting more and more misused. Next is no great escape. Yesterday we saw that India is ranked at 94th position among 107 countries in Global Hunger Index. Do you know the country with which it is placed? That is with Sudan. Then how we have to handle this? It means we have severe malnourishment in this country. Can India achieve zero hunger by 2030 as per the goal of sustainable development goals? It appears not possible. And next to it, public distribution system has to be enlarged. In the name of better governance, leakage proof system, we have brought in biometric authentication. Because of this, many of the genuine hardworking people are being left out of the PDS. And second thing is, the public distribution system focuses on distribution of cereals that provide for carbohydrate. What we need in India is diversity of diet. Diversity, it means that we shall provide for fat, protein, everything, micronutrients to the people. And next important point is, the focus has to be on women and children. A healthy woman can have healthy pregnancy and healthy child, and that becomes a virtuous cycle. Today, unhealthy woman is the reason for low birth weight babies causing malnourishment. This needs to be addressed. If hunger is not addressed, right to food in India is meaningless. So, National Food Security Act has to be revamped to the needs of the day. Next is an incomplete solution. Yesterday, Centre announced that it will borrow 1.1 lakh crore rupees and it will lend it to the states on a back-to-back basis. And this particular borrowing will be paid back from the GST compensation cess, which will be extended beyond 2022. In this scenario, government agreed to pay the compensation or GST losses, but the deadlines are not being properly fixed. It is the time to fix the time frames. Next is still awaiting police reform. If you know, Prakash Singh case is known for police reforms. Supreme Court in this judgment stated that state security councils have to be constituted, and the state security councils have to recommend for the appointments to various critical positions in police, and the security of tenure has to be provided for them. Before that, we have National Police Commission and then Ribeiro's report. In spite of these many reports, state governments are not seriously implementing these recommendations. They want police to be the instruments of their power, display of power, political power. So, the major reform, that is state security councils and making their recommendations binding on the states, is implemented only by two states, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. After that, security of tenure is provided only by 6 states. That shows the dismal state of police reforms in India, increasing the accountability of the police, creating the fear of law for the criminals is the essential criminal justice reform India has to undertake. Next is Jagan's letter, an affront to judiciary. What here former retired judge, Supreme Court judge, Mr. Gopala Gowda is saying is Jagan Mohan Reddy's letter to CJI and publicizing it is nothing but damaging the reputation of the judiciary in India. More, the Reddy wanted to have publicity to his action and rather than responsibility towards institutions. If elected leaders do not show responsibility towards the institutions, it is not good for democracy in the long run. And the next, Mr. N.V. Ramana, who is facing allegations, has made a strong statement. Strength of the judiciary is people's faith in it. The judiciary and its greatest strength comes from the faith, confidence, and acceptability of the people. These are the points important to note and use as a statement to complete our answer. Next is India past COVID peak, says DST panel. It does not have any significance to individual cases. It only helps for policy decisions. So once the cases peak, slowly the number of cases are expected to decrease. This happened in every country. Now in India, the number of cases per day are decreasing and also the recovery rates are high. The second is Zero survey as per the guess of DST is expected to be around 30%. It means 1 in every 3 persons in India is expected to have antibodies against COVID-19 now. Then when we can expect the herd immunity? It can be expected on at least if 60 to 70% of the population has the antibodies. Next is GST cess to stay, Finance Commission Chief. You know, government failed to collect the GST as per the expectations due to COVID-19 pandemic. To compensate the losses to the states, central government has imposed GST compensation cess. This GST compensation cess is expected to continue beyond 2025-26. That is Mr. N.K. Singh, the Finance Commission, 15th Finance Commission Chief is saying. These are the articles for today. Signing off, Dr. Rambabu for Law Excellence.